and the subscribers, welcome back. We are looking at paper 1, linear programming for paper 1. So please, sometimes they will give you a diagram like this already drawn for you. I will show you the simplest way of answering such questions. These are 3 marks, 4 marks. Please remember to subscribe and don't lose these 4 marks. Support your channel. I hope you are enjoying my presentation. Now, at this point in time, we are looking at the linear, programming for paper 1. So now, if you are given such, let's hope the camera will catch up, will show this clearly, the diagram. So you can see that this is a broken line. They want us to describe this region R, which I've written in red. So rule number 1, go for the simplest inequality. What are the simplest inequality? These are linear or lines which are horizontal. This is vertical and horizontal. So here I've got only one line which is horizontal. Now for the sake of learning, I will name this line as number 1. And then I will name this one as number 2. Then this one I will continue with this so that I can name it number 3. So I will start with line number 1. So in order for you, just on the question paper, tell your neighbor that neighbor, on the question paper, you can see that it cuts at 5. So I'll just say x is equal to 5. Just on the question paper, not on the answer sheet. Not on the answer sheet, but on the question paper. You say x is equal to 5. I'm just naming this line. Now, if you consider this one, you agree with me that if I put my protractor like this, the R is on the left of 5. Left side of 5. So my R is on the left side of my 5. So we are just saying that the first solution to this, I'm now describing, the first inequality is that it cuts on the x, where x is equal to 5, because the solutions are found on the less part. So it should be less or equal to 5. You agree with me that why have I said less or equal to? This line is solid. It is a solid line. Tell your neighbor that it is a solid line. Now, since it is a solid line, I should put this less or equal to. So this is inequality 1. Inequality 2. Inequality 2. How do I get inequality 2? If you see, if you have got a line, this line, which cuts on the y-axis, again the same line cuts on the x-axis. As long as it is going in this direction, I'm teaching you the simplest way. Of course, we'll stay, in some books they'll say we should start looking for this one, for example, I will say, okay, what are the coordinates for this one? It is 0, 10. What is the other one? It is 5, 0. And then they will tell me that, and you'll find the gradient. This is x1, y1, this is x2, y2. How do we find the gradient? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus 1. You agree with me that my y2 there, it is 0, minus my y1 is 10, over my x2 there is 5, minus x1 is 0. You agree with me that negative 10 over 5, the answer will be negative 2. So ladies and gentlemen, we have found our what? Our M. Now again, if you continue, say, okay, I'm looking for the equation. Before I go for the inequality or describing this part, I will go for the equation. What is the equation? It states that y minus y1 equals to m bracket x minus x1. Of this one, we say y1 minus, y minus y1. What is my y1? Is 0. It is 10, sorry. My m gradient is negative 2, x minus 0. My 0 is here. You agree with me that this does not make sense. Look, that is, when you multiply this, it will have negative 2x. But this one, I can't, when you multiply negative 2 and the 0, it will be the same 0. So I won't write the 0. So y is equal to negative 2x plus 10. So now, the name of this one, The name of this one is equal to y is equal to negative 2x plus 10. We haven't answered the question. I'm just showing you how we waste the time. We haven't answered the question. Or now you come back here, you say, okay, where do I find the R? It is above. Since it is above, we are considering the answers, meaning the solutions are on the above, which is greater than this line. So I will say, okay, greater or equal to, looking at the solid line. So I will say y is greater or equal to negative 2x plus 10. It means I've found the second what? Inequality. So this was the first one. This was the second one. So I'm remaining with one. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this morning, with me, I'm not impressed with this working. Just waiting, fighting for 2 marks. Look at the labor which you are putting in. So I'm trying to employ you. I'm going to employ a very simple method. We are going to use a simple method. See, this simple method follows the principle which states that as long as the line is heading to the left, it is a negative. Gradient is what? Negative. Now, since the gradient is negative, if the gradient is negative, you agree with me that these are linear equations. They are linear equations. Since it is a linear equation, the general formula is like this. This is the general formula. So you just have to divide. The y, it is 10. It cuts at 5. So 5 into 10, you just say, okay, my m is simple. It is this 10 divided by 5, which is equal to 2. Now, since it is going on the left side, it becomes a negative. And then you say equals to negative 2x plus, now, you have to consider where it cuts, the same line it cuts, which y-axis it cuts at 10 plus 10. It means you have answered the question direct without wasting your time. I'm repeating. I said, how do I get this gradient? To find, allow me to use the red ink. So for me to use, to find this m, I will just say, okay, it is these lines. I'm talking about line 2, viewers, fellow subscribers. I'm talking about this line. It cuts at y at 10, divided by the number, which is a 5. So 5 into 10, you say 5 into 10 becomes a 2. Now I have to introduce a negative because I know that it is going on the negative side. It is going on the left side, so the gradient is always a negative. And from there, you agree with me that you just have to insert the what? You insert the symbol for inequality, which is greater or equal to negative 2x plus 10. It means you have answered this question. So now, in our next question, how do I describe this one? I won't have any problem now. I will be using our method, which is very simple. Now, this method is, again, I know that you can see on the x it is 2. Here it is a 10. So I will say, okay, how do I find this inequality? First of all, the equation. The equation is this one. Mx plus what? Plus c. Where does it cut the y-axis? It is 10. So I know that my c is 10. My x remains the same. But how do I get my m? This is where I'm saying you look at where it cuts. It cuts at where? It cuts at 10 on the y. Divide by what? Divide by 2. So I'll put a 2. Remember, because this side it is on the positive side, so the gradient is equal to 5. Why? Because even if I can't say this is divided by negative 2, I'll say positive 2 because this is positive. So immediately I have that, so meaning here to be 5 and here to be y like this. So this is another line. Now, where is the R? R is on the left part. So my other inequality, it will be y is less or equal to 5x plus 10. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying just to show you how we can answer this question in a simplest way when it is to deal with inequalities. So I said, as long as the line cuts the y-axis and the x-axis, it is very simple for you to find the gradient. Thank you so much. God bless you.